Yo, what is good, my anime faithful? What is good, yo? Guys, we have been getting quite a few awesome animes, but today is one of those days where you come to find out that one of your shows just ain't even airing and you just gotta deal with it. But Combinary not coming out this week, so to replace it, we get to watch a show that just pretty much introduced us to Pandora's box and probably Pandora herself. So we are in a weird position where we learn about her at the same time. We also pretty much see that the situation didn't really get any better as much as it just got more suitable for her. Like, and like she says, she's even going to leave an opening spot for him to just be able to come back at any time he wants. So it goes to show you that she's not even afraid if he comes back, knowing that he he asked her to pretty much, stop doing this, and you're taking people's memories and those are important. But to Pandora, she's like, memories to a human? Eh, like they don't care about those types of things. It's very trivial to someone like her who can pretty much have a dimensional elevator open up, and it only opens up to people that she has desired, the ones that have gained the loss. Just, I'm going to call it the loss because there's multiple things that she considers the loss. She considers love, jealousy, and I'm guessing it goes on from there. Maybe like hate, anger, uh, desperate. But this week it was all about, or this area was all about loss. That she, or actually really weird. She was going to take anything she could. So loss or love was pretty much on the table, and then come to find out that once she tries to actually achieve these things, she can't, only because uh, she only can't achieve it because she finds out that, I guess, when the guy who's been on the job for longer with the glasses touches our main character's head, he kind of passed on the emotion of his great loss towards towards our main guy. So that's where we learn, just overall how she starts to kind of find people. Not to mention, we learn why uh, she's pretty much grabbing whoever she wants to and has them doing whatever she needs. So it's Pandora's very a very interesting character. Not to mention, um, they're just playing with that name in general. Like Pandora, in name alone is a pretty huge concept. So to think that something like that exists in this world just goes to show you that there's probably a lot of stories they can tell, including with their own, twist on it. So really looking forward to how they kind of play all this out now that they are showing us that they're willing to even go into that line of using characters like Pandora. So overall, though, the great loss is actually kind of on the mind of our main character, and just what is it that was so great of loss that tempted the woman who, you know, the woman, Pandora, excuse me, and why was it so like hard for, you know, this this to be found on him again? So we understand a little bit of, because of the touching of the head, it kind of was like spread to both of them. Like it was probably spread evenly both to them. Only for a little bit though, I'm guessing, because right after it happened, she was like, "Oh, you guys, neither of you have what I want." So because of that, she then waits around for her next person that had to deal with love, and that just goes to show you that regardless of who kind of shows up, all she really wants is whatever is lost from the Pandora's box, which we also see it has like a heartbeat, or like a throb after it gains this like power. So, yeah, we're in a very, very interesting position when it comes down to this show in general. But overall, man, I'm pretty sure whatever happens from here on out, we're gonna probably be seeing a lot of nuanced monster, like creatures and mythical creatures like that. Because the one thing I thought might have happened is the guy who actually, the Loki of this show was actually gonna show up and maybe just like be able to show us that he can even transcend these different like these pocket universes that even Pandora can create to be able to do whatever she wants. So I don't know. It's very interesting overall, but to think that our main character just now kind of learned their place in this whole scheme, like he asks, what good are the ears of the sand if you can't fix these things? And we learned that, not all these situations were meant to be fixed in the overall case of like getting justice and serving things, They what they're really more care about is actually having the information as to why things are happening so it can be avoided. So it's kind of like the team that attacks after they know there's already a disaster. So it sucks to see characters pretty much being, beating themselves up, thinking that they can't do anything right or that they were no help at all. So it sucks to see this character feeling that way, but at the same time, it might be good for him because he might just try to understand the others that much more. In the case of he could probably study, what they have around in the files. For instance, on the sister, but I'm guessing with the whole missing sister thing, I think that's more of his case in the sense of he's holding all the files to it. Like it seems like he holds all that information to himself, so no one can really even get any other information because it's all going to him. That's just his domain when it comes down to the missing girls. So he can actually find his missing sister, which is still a pretty sad overall position that they're in. So really curious to see how you guys are feeling about the show, or if you're even keeping up with it anymore at this point, because I feel like a lot of shows you either keep them or you don't, and you just happen to, fall off. Uh, or some people just don't wind up keeping up with every single episode and just wind up, it calling it a day. But with me, I like to do this. Not to mention it helps the channel grow. And I enjoy the show, but at the same time, it did feel a little bit staler than it usually does, only in the sense of because they were only focusing on one of the others, it felt like you can tell uh, the little bit of where the stale, like where they didn't have um, so much to do for this character. It just felt like they were in one spot for quite some time, like they weren't really doing anything in that spot, but they were uh, continuously telling us like, oh, this and this is that, and after it's all said and done, it almost feels like it doesn't even play a role in the overall story if nothing comes from this, if nothing actually happens overall. You really kind of just didn't get anything out of this, so I'm interested to see how that plays out and what they truly do at the end of this series. I mean, I'm not too sure if everybody's gonna, keep up with it or whatever, like I said, but if you aren't, at least you can come here to the Anime G's channel and you can definitely at least hear about some of the animes that you might drop off. So with that being said, I hope you guys have an amazing day, night, evening, whatever the case may be when you're watching this. I have been the Anime G for you, and I definitely will talk to you guys tomorrow. I don't believe anything's like too crazy coming out anytime soon, so regardless, I will be here to drop that content. If something doesn't show up, I'll definitely let you know within the video if I'm not going to record something, so Hope you guys have an awesome one, and I expect to talk to you tomorrow. So with that, peace.